The African nation of Namibia just deported over 500 U.S. citizens in one fell swoop. This has left many scratching their heads wondering why such a drastic measure was taken. But as it turns out, there may be more to this story than meets the eye. In fact, some are even calling this move a calculated power play that could have major implications for the future of diplomacy between these two nations. So let's take a closer look at what's really going on here. Namibia, a small African nation with a population of around 2.5 million people, has recently made headlines for its bold move to deport over 500 American nationals. The move has raised eyebrows and sparked speculation about the reasons behind such a drastic action. While Namibian officials have not disclosed the specific motives for the deportations, reports suggest that it is part of an ongoing effort to crack down on illegal immigration and foreign nationals who are overstaying their visas. According to Namibian media outlets, those deported include 184 women and 324 men, most of whom had entered the country through the Hosea Kitako International Airport near Windhoek, the capital city. The deportations took place in coordination with the U.S. Embassy in Namibia, and the U.S. government had sent a plane to transport the Americans back to the United States. While it may seem like an isolated incident, this mass deportation is actually part of a larger trend. In recent years, Namibia has become increasingly concerned about the number of undocumented foreigners living and working in the country. The Namibian government estimates that there are over 100,000 undocumented immigrants in the country, many of whom are from neighboring countries such as Angola and Zambia. The influx of undocumented immigrants has put a strain on Namibia's resources and has also raised concerns about national security. In response, the Namibian government has taken a tough stance on immigration, introducing stricter penalties for those who violate immigration laws. However, the recent mass deportations have raised concerns about the treatment of foreigners in Namibia and the impact on bilateral relations with the United States. The United States Embassy in Namibia has urged American citizens to ensure that they comply with Namibian immigration laws and regulations to avoid similar action. Additionally, the embassy has offered consular assistance to any U.S. citizens affected by the deportations. Despite the controversy surrounding the mass deportations, Namibian President Hage Geingob has defended his government's actions. He stated that Namibia is a sovereign country and has the right to control its borders and protect its national interests. He also emphasized the need for foreigners living in Namibia to contribute positively to the country and respect its laws and regulations. Now, while all of this might seem like a straightforward case of a country cracking down on immigration, some are suggesting that there is more to the story. In fact, some are even claiming that this move is a carefully orchestrated power play designed to send a message to the United States. Pro-democracy advocates in Namibia have long criticized the close ties between the Namibian government and the United States and have called for greater transparency and accountability in foreign policy. Some believe that the recent mass deportations are a sign of growing tension between the two countries and a shift away from the traditional partnership. The timing of the deportations has also been seen as significant. They took place just weeks after the United States announced sanctions against Russia, which Namibia condemned as a violation of international law and a threat to global peace and security. Namibia has traditionally had good relations with Russia and has been critical of the United States' foreign policy in Africa. In 2018, President G.W. Bush called for an end to U.S. support for Israel and called for a new approach to the Israeli occupation of Palestinian territory. Some analysts believe that the mass deportations are part of a broader trend of African countries taking a more assertive stance on foreign policy issues and challenging the traditional dominance of Western nations. For example, South Africa has also taken a more independent approach to foreign policy in recent years, refusing to side with either Russia or the West, and calling for dialogue and cooperation to resolve the conflict in Ukraine. In conclusion, while the recent mass deportations of Americans from Namibia may seem like an isolated incident, they are part of a larger trend of African countries taking a more assertive stance on foreign policy and immigration issues. Whether this move is a sign of growing tension between Namibia and the United States or a strategic power play remains to be seen. However, it is clear that this is part of a larger shift in dynamics between African countries and Western nations. What do you think? Let us know your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates on world news. Thank you for watching.